Hello, here we are at the Emerald Cup 2015 with two of the award winners from the ceremony this night being recognized as trailblazers, deep roots, heroes in our industry, in the cannabis industry, people on whose shoulders and work we all stand. So we're here celebrating Mikki and Chris. And so, you know, the quintessential question, how do you feel being recognized here at the Emerald Cup? I'll go with you first.
It's such an honor to be recognized here amongst our comrades, amongst our peers, amongst our, so many great people here, and we know that they had a good selection to choose from, and so we're especially honored for this recognition for all of our work that we've done over the last 27 years.
Yeah, likewise, and coming from the Emerald Cup is especially nice for us because this is like really, it represents the industry, but it really represents the community more so, and the community from which the industry has come. And I formed the Business Alliance for Commerce and Hemp back in 1988 with the idea of seeing the marijuana industry come to the forefront, and now here we are, and we've seen it happen, and we're just a challenging time right now, but I think the opportunity to move forward is so great that it's an honor, but yet the work still lies ahead. A lot of work still lies ahead, I should say.
Let's talk about the work ahead, because I know, we had the initiative debate last night, there was, more talk today, and a lot of us, whatever amount of time we've been in the industry want to know, like, how do we move forward? There's 10 initiatives, what's going to make it on to, what has a chance of winning, and making sure it's a step forward. So I'd love a little bit of your wisdom. I'll start with you, and then we'll...
Well, the one that's going to be on the ballot is the one that is our opportunity to make the change with. Not all of them are going to make the ballot. In fact, it's unlikely that any of them, except for the ALMA Act, but at this point it looks like that. And we think that will move us definitely forward, some big steps forward. And when you take it out of what's considered the illegal market and make it a legal market, in the minds of the society and the country, the politicians, everybody, and the whole world is watching. So this is like really an opportunity to take a step in California that will affect the whole world and embolden them, hopefully, to make their own changes. And together, it's going to be cumulative, and we'll all benefit from whoever passes legalization. It's not just going to be California next year. I think it's going to be also Massachusetts, possibly Nevada and Arizona, and I think another state in there too.
Maybe Pennsylvania, right? Got it.
Yeah, right. Well, I think this is a huge moment for us right now. I'm very thankful that we have somebody like Sean Parker who's willing to put down the money, because it's very expensive to pass an initiative. And a lot of people criticize him for not just backing one of the initiatives that's out there, but remember, as a movement, we couldn't even back one of them. We're splintered with 10 different initiatives, so I don't think it's surprising that, looking at that situation, he decided to call some consultants together, and they wrote it for not just for the community here. Like, when we're talking amongst ourselves, it's like, well, it should be this, it should be that. But remember, we're going to have voters in Orange County and Fresno who are going to be voting on this too, and so it has to be something that they like as well. The thing that I really caution people about, though, is people saying, well, they would like to have more. First off, I've looked at it, it's really got a lot of good stuff in it. But second off is once 2017 comes along, we don't have Senate Bill 420 to protect us anymore. And so if you don't fit within AB 266, which is great, it takes away the nonprofit requirements, it's going to open a lot of places, but parts of the states are going to be completely shut down under it. And so if we don't have something else in place come 2017, well, we're in a huge situation where the collectives and the culture that we've created this event are really at risk of being taken away. And I think that the Adult Use Act and the other initiatives too, if one of them makes it, give us the opportunity to continue moving forward with progress. And I think people really need to recognize that. It's not like, well, if this doesn't pass, things will just stay as they are. Things are not going to stay like they are. The legislature has gutted Senate Bill 420 and replaced it with a very strictly regulated system that's going to be hard for people to work in.
I think that's really important, because that's not something I've heard many people talk about, the fact that we're basically losing SB 420 with the safety, or the MRSA, the unfortunate name MRSA Act, Safety Act, so that we really do need something else to...
The name is kind of a pro because it's an incurable, we're going to be stuck with it no matter what.
Great. So you would recommend that we get involved, what's next for all of us that attended here and to have an impact on the initiative and on the industry at this really historic moment?
You know, the people really just need to come out, make their voices heard, talk to their politicians. If you're not happy with the initiative, then we're going to need and there still will be work to be done after any initiative is passed because it's not complete. But
we can't amend it right now. Like, it's done, right? Like, we have to fix it after it passes. Like, there's no influencing it at this point, sir?
There is something of an opportunity now because they've changed the laws here in California about initiatives. So people will have an opportunity to get input to the legislature. And if there's something unconstitutional, for example, the legislature is empowered to make changes. We want to make sure the changes they make are not unfavorable to us. So we really need to get our voices out to the legislature before this goes onto the ballot. The other thing is that under the MRSA or under the initiative, it's going to be the local work that's really going to make the difference. You know, the cities and the counties are the ones who have the authority to regulate, and it can actually, both of them allow it to be blown very open. We can have a lot of events like this all over the state, but it's going to take the local activists in the local community to fight for their rights to do that. And so I think that the burden is really shifting with next year, that we need to get people into their local city councils and so forth, because the police are going to be there. If you're not there, then the only people that the city government's going to hear from are the cops, and they're not going to be favorable to our culture. So
I've been thinking it's kind of like we got to occupy cannabis. Like, show up, right? I was talking to the MAPS gal at the back of the auditorium, and we were like, wait a minute. Like, we need to take a stand and show up and speak out, and it's Occupy Cannabis. These are our values. This is our moment in history. And, there's a lot of money, there's a lot of good stuff, but it's so much deeper and bigger. There's the criminal issue, there's recognizing, the heritage. So I'm really...
I have two projects going that I'd like people to know about, because one of them is to deal with the past, which we have the 420 Archives, which is trying to get the stories of the growers and the people who brought this movement forward to keep it from being lost to history, because we know this, but it's a secretive kind of a history, and it needs to be told. So please look up the 420 Archives online and get involved with that. And the other thing is looking to the future. I have a new book that's called The Newbie's Guide to Cannabis and the Industry, and it's an introduction to cannabis, but also to the industry. And it talks about protecting the values and the ethics that we brought to this. Like, here we're hearing these people talk about how important it is to be organic and making sure that the nutrients are safe, but also that the pesticides are not being used and so forth. And so these are things that we share, but maybe big business may not share that. And so we need to try to educate the people coming forward from here on out, the future, that we really are here about protecting the earth, making a better world for our children, protecting the safety of the medicine. These are things that we need to continue to move forward with. And so this book is to try to help people get into the subject, get into the industry, but do it in a way that protects our common values.
Our values. And just one more shout out for women in the industry. Is there anything that you would say to young women coming up and all of us as far as taking a leadership role as you have done?
Well, the cannabis plant that we all love is female, and she does speak to us, so listen to what she has to say and find your voice, because women are so important to this movement. We need the women out there speaking in behalf of it, telling the world why cannabis is so great, why we need to end the destructive drug war that's creating so much havoc all over the place. We need to stand up for our future as well. And I think, women, come on out. Come on out. We need your voices. Really, you're very important.
Well, thank you for being a leader and a mentor in that capacity, because we need that, the heroes. And thank you so much. The recognition is just such a little piece of, yes, please show off the beautiful glassware here. Look at that. I'm hoping you can see it, people. Beautiful, amazing works of art that recognize.
With humility and a lot of pleasure.
Well, thank you again so much. All right. Thank you so much, Emerald Cup 2015. Keep tuning in.